Hi everyone, this is Rich from IO Audio with a short video on microphone techniques. Number 1. Mic positioning and mic distance from your performance. So first of all, mic position. Now I've done a video about where to position your microphone here. But yeah, once you've positioned your microphone, then it all comes down to your mic technique. It's really important as a voiceover artist to know about mic technique and to know how to use your voice in relation to the microphone. You know, what frequencies of your voice is the microphone picking up, and how can you utilize that for certain voiceover performances. So we'll talk about that in a bit. This is the kind of a classic way of knowing how far away. Yeah, so that's the kind of distance that you're looking for, around 6 inches. But obviously that will differ depending on the kind of performance you're giving. So if you're giving a quieter, more intimate performance, then you will go closer to the microphone so people can really feel that it's an intimate performance. And then if you're giving a more projected and commercial read, then you come off the microphone so that you don't distort. What is important is that this capsule in the microphone, which is a really sensitive instrument, is in the right position to capture the majority of your voice. Number 2, minimizing plosives. So again, I've done this in a video before about minimizing plosives. The way to do this, if you see that this is the front of my microphone, and if I do this, you can see that I'm voicing slightly off axis to the microphone, and I'm actually voicing past the face of the microphone like this, so that it minimizes those plosives. This microphone, which is an Aston origin, has actually got a pop filter built inside it, and you can use your own pop filter, which I've got one up there. I mean, this is without a pop filter. You know, there's no plosives in there. So that mic technique there, and the microphone pulling off here, so you've got this kind of cross section here, really helps to reduce. Now a trick, which is a bit of an old school trick that you can do, forwards onto the microphone and go, you can hear that. So if I put my hand in front of the microphone like this and go, I can feel where the plosive is on my hand there. So if I go, and move to the left-hand side until I can't feel the plosive on my hand, that will give me my mic position across the microphone like that. It's a bit like rubbing your belly and tapping your head when you try and do that like that, but it's a really good technique to use to help you find out where the plosives from your performance are in relation to your microphone, and then adjust your position from that. Number 3, script location. So you can see from the other camera that from here my script is directly behind the microphone. So again, in as I said in the other videos, I've set people up with microphones before, and we've gone, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And then the script goes like this, and they point down, they look, as long as they're leading hotels and they're actually pointing downwards with their mic technique. So that is the capsule of this microphone is not going to capture the majority of your performance. Listening as a producer, I can always tell when somebody's mic technique is off. Part of the frequency spectrum of the voice tends to be off. It's either the lower end or the top end. So if we do this, for example, bring your business to the 21st century, and then we look down here, bring your business to the 21st century. You can just hear it. I can hear it in the cans right now that there's a massive difference in what the microphone's picking up. So your script position in relation to your microphone is really important. Number 4, consistent recording levels. If you've got a script which has, so it might start off quite quiet and then it builds up in intensity in the projection. If you do that, sitting in the same position on the microphone all the time, then you will have an inconsistent recording level. And I'll show you an example of the inconsistency, and then I'll show you what to do to make sure that doesn't happen. So here we go. I'm just going to hit record on there. So this is the inconsistent level. And Energy bills on the rise. It's time to go green. Save hundreds on your electric bill with a solar and battery storage installation from H&I Renewables, your local trusted specialist with over 15 years experience. So if we take a look at that, we can see this part here. You can see where the audio wave starts to ramp up because my projection is increasing. So what you want to do is try and have that a consistent level. So what I'm going to do now is the consistent recording level. And what you have to do is, if you're doing the intimate read to begin with, is start off here, and as your projection starts to build, you have to move away from the microphone so that the recording level is consistent, and you'll see it on the audio wave. So if we hit record now, energy levels on the rise. It's time to go green. Save hundreds on your electricity bill with a solar and battery storage installation from H&I Renewables, your local trusted specialist with over 15 years experience. So if we look at that there, you can see that even though the first part was a quieter recording in terms of performance and projection, it's still the same level as the louder parts. So you've got a more consistent recording level. When you send that off to a producer, they don't have to do a lot in terms of normalization and compression to get those quieter parts up with the louder parts. So that's your mic technique for doing that. If something, be constantly aware of where you are in relation to the microphone and what the performance is asking of you. Number 5, experimenting with your microphone position and technique. So we have what's called the proximity effect, is when we get up and close and personal with the microphone, and you can do those kind of using the microphone as if it's somebody's ear and giving that intimate performance. But when you do this, if you just sit for 5 minutes and go and just experiment with what tones the microphone is picking up and where about in relation to your head and your throat and your body, is it picking those tones up from? So, and then you can kind of jot that down mentally for later on to give you an idea of, so if a performance comes up which is more intimate and that, I need to be on this part of the microphone when I'm voicing that type of script, so that it's picking up the kind of lower vibrations of my voice box and my throat around there. Or if you use the higher pitches of your voice, then you can create, go a bit more face on with the microphone. So just experiment with what the microphone is picking up from your voice, and then you can use those as tools for when certain scripts come in. So there you have it, 5 pointers for your microphone technique. If you liked this video, please press like and subscribe to the channel for more content.